Republicans have been very clear that Donald Trump's response to what took place in Charlottesville, Virginia, simply was not enough. He is being blasted left and right. But check this out, folks. So he gives this statement on Saturday. Let me know when y'all have the video, okay? Because I want to actually play that if we have the video. But he gives this statement where he talks about many sides, okay? So it looks like we have what we have the written so play the video, please. I want y'all to hear this. And then I'm going to read for you the second statement the White House released after they got criticized.
We condemn in the strongest possible terms this egregious display of hatred, bigotry, and violence on many sides. On many sides. It's been going on for a long time in our country. Above all else, we must remember this truth. No matter our color, creed, religion, or political party, we are all Americans first.
Then, of course, he went on in that very statement to talk about the economy and how things are going. And he walked out thanking veterans for their service. But he wouldn't condemn white supremacy and fighting Nazis, which was the very thing veterans were fighting for against in World War II. How hilarious is that to see that particular image? But then this happened, of course. The White House later released a statement. And y'all, this is very interesting. So check this out. Shelly, go to my iPad. The president said very strongly in his statement yesterday that he condemns all forms of violence, bigotry, and hatred. And of course, that includes white supremacists, KKK, neo-Nazi, and all extremist groups. He called for national unity and bringing all Americans together. Except here's the problem with that statement. No White House spokesperson would put their name on the statement. They also would not attribute this statement directly to President Trump. Republicans clearly realize this is a problem. Many of them have spoken out. Go to the tweet. Senator Cory Gardner of Colorado. Mr. President, we must call evil by its name. These were white supremacists, and this was domestic terrorism. Senator Ted Cruz, I urge the Department of Justice to immediately investigate and prosecute this grotesque act of domestic terrorism. Well, before Trump even spoke, his wife, Melania Trump, actually released a tweet on Saturday. Our country encourages freedom of speech, but let's communicate without a hate in our hearts. No good comes from violence. And then, of course, his daughter, you know, she got something to say. Ivanka Trump, there should be no place in society for racism, white supremacy, and neo-Nazis. You had, of course, Senator Orrin Hatch. You had Senator Marco Rubio and others releasing their statements. But again, the president is very silent. Jennifer, when you see this, when you see how weak and impotent this man is, you see Republicans who realize this is a watershed moment for this party.
Republicans absolutely have to come out, and they have to say even more. I'm really grateful that Marco Rubio and others actually came out and condemned white supremacy yesterday, but they have to distance themselves from this president even more. White supremacy is a moral abomination, and so they have to actually condemn the fact that he has a white supremacist cabinet. They have to continue to condemn racist policies. They have to restore the Voting Rights Act. They have to address criminal justice reform. So we need them to keep walking down that road and to go a step further. I want to say also that this is a wake-up call to America's pastors, particularly to the white pastors. We have to be loud in our communities, challenging racism, and we have to be educating our flocks. If neo-Nazis are able to reach into our flocks and draw these young men into this sort of cult of neo-Nazism, then we have failed America. So white clergy, it's on us. We need to, if we are not woke, we need to wake up and do more.
Lauren, what is interesting about this, again, to have a White House spokesperson not put their name on the statement and then specifically say this can't be attributed to the president, clearly says to me he did not want to say this. He didn't want to be near it. And what he is doing, forget the many sides crap, he has chosen to be on the side of white supremacists and neo-Nazis, because that's who has been supporting him since he ran for office.
We knew that last year. We knew that last year when there was a student from the University of Louisville who was pushed around at one of his campaign rallies, and he said absolutely nothing by a white supremacist. We knew that last year, early in February, when Jake Tapper interviewed him, and he would not, he tried to act like he didn't know who David Duke was. He didn't try to act like he didn't know who the Ku Klux Klan was. I mean, it's absurd. We have a president of the United States who at best is a white supremacist sympathizer, at best. At best. I mean, we have to come to terms with what this reality is. And I think people need to stop acting as if that's not what's going on right now. I mean, given his history, given the history of his company, they were sued by the Justice Department for racism. I mean, this is years and years ago. This is the guy that took out an ad in the New York Times, 5 black men who are innocent. I mean, he has a certain history, and that history is shown in the policy, the Muslim ban, build a wall, the affirmative action for white people. We just saw that. There's nothing to talk about anymore. I'm not sure why everybody is still in shock mode, because this has basically been going on for a while. We knew who Donald Trump was. We saw it at the rallies. We saw the violence. And everybody sort of sat there stunned, but we got to get out of stun mode. This is the reality of it. Oh, by the way, I'm not impressed by 5 Republicans out of 240 in the House and 54 in the Senate. 5 Republicans, very good statements by Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio, we know that. But where's everybody else?
That's right.
And there's a problem with that. We're talking about Nazis in the streets of America. We're not talking about
2017.
Yeah, right.
And this is not a partisan issue. You know, this is something Republicans and Democrats both. It's a moral issue.
It's a moral.
I want to play. Shelley, go to my iPad before I go to Eugene. The Charlottesville, Virginia NBC affiliate, NBC 29. Yesterday, there was a news conference. Jason Kessler, who organized this rally, held a news conference, got shouted down. They yelled, "Shame, shame." And then you had this take place as they were, go to it, please. Actually, we missed it, so please, let's go back, guys. So again, so you're gonna see, he gets punched in the face by one of the protesters, and the guy who punched him said he absolutely deserved it. And you see what took place here. He got a very, very loud reaction yesterday, Eugene, from the folks there in Charlottesville.
Let me tell you something. Because of the work of Kessler, because of the work of David Duke, and you know, these white nationalists and white supremacists, a young lady died. A young lady died at the hands of domestic terrorism.
Right.
So in my eyes, Kessler should have caught a fade and should have caught many other fades directly after that. I mean, this should be national issue of fade to white supremacist week, if you ask me.
And this a photo with a member of Congress from Virginia, Tom Garrett, by the way, which is another dangerous aspect of this.
Another dangerous aspect. But to go back to the issue of 45, you know, in the words of Stephen Hayes, this isn't a president that's reluctant to address the issue. This is a president that's refusing to address this issue.
Exactly.
You know, and that's where we're at.
Won't even retweet his daughter.
Won't even
Why didn't
retweet
he
his daughter.
Ivanka?
You know, Martin Luther King said, you know, when it comes down to injustice, you're neutral, you're taking the side of injustice.
That's right.
And this White House is being silent, they're taking the side of injustice.
But Donald Trump,
Real quick, 20 seconds.
but Donald Trump is the titular head of the Republican Party. You are a Republican. Where are the African-American Republicans making public statements? Hold on. And how do you continue to be part of a Republican Party and in support of the titular head, who by all accounts is a white supremacist sympathizer? How do you do that?
I was a Republican.
Leave your party.
One second.
So to address both your questions. First, I was a Republican before Donald Trump was a Republican. I'll be a Republican after Donald Trump's a Republican. To address the second question, Black Republicans have been issuing statements. In particular, DJ Jordan, who's actually locally there on the ground, Prince William County Vice Chair of the party there, released a very strong statement rebuking both the white supremacists and also calling out other Republicans.
But here's the deal. I got to go to a break. But here's what I think. What Scott is saying, which I've been saying for the longest. When will Black Republicans stand up as a collective, and say, we condemn this? I've said about voter suppression. I've said about other issues. That's the real issue, not individual statements, not individuals, but as a collective, a public show of Black Republican unity, calling out this president. That, to me, would send a powerful message.
Weekdays on TV One.
I will never lie to you.
Oh, my God.
Roland Martin.
He doesn't want to talk to us. He wants to ignore us.
Uncensored.
Hell no. That ain't gonna cut it, boo.
Unapologetic.
No, that is fundamentally false. You are wrong.
Unfiltered.
He wants an America where we all look alike. He ain't talking about black people.
Unrelenting.
You better go work out, because you got a fight on your hands.
NewsOne Now with Roland Martin. Weekdays at 7 a.m. on TV1.